The world woke up to a shock. The United States has bombed Iran. Yes, 3 of Iran's uranium enrichment facilities were struck overnight in a bold and highly risky military operation led by President Donald Trump. What does this mean for the Middle East? For the world? For the future of peace? Welcome to Snooper. We cover celebrity news and, of course, the hottest trending topics. Now, let's get into it. Early footage from an Iranian journalist shows thick smoke rising near Iran's Fordo nuclear site, an underground facility hidden deep beneath a mountain not far from the holy city of Qom. He claimed there wasn't much visible damage, but behind the scenes, a very different story. Last night, the US launched a coordinated airstrike on 3 of Iran's main nuclear sites. The most difficult one? The Fordo facility, designed to withstand almost anything, buried under tons of rock. To breach it, the US military used precision-guided missiles, and for the first time in actual warfare, massive bunker-buster bombs. Satellite images taken hours after the attack show scorched ground, cratered roads, and signs of possible structural damage. The mission was reportedly a success, at least from the US side. President Trump clearly announced,
"Thank you very much."
He struck a triumphal tone.
Tonight I can report to the world that the strikes were a spectacular military success. Iran's key nuclear enrichment facilities have been completely and totally obliterated. Iran, the bully of the Middle East, must now make peace.
Iran, furious, didn't waste time. Just this morning, they fired 2 barges of ballistic missiles at Israel. One missile landed in Tel Aviv, hitting a residential building and a nursing home. Dozens were injured. Israel raised its national alert to the highest level, expecting more strikes. Israeli forces have responded swiftly, destroying missile launchers and Iranian jets before they could do more damage. People like Gura, a resident forced to flee his home, are living in fear.
Worse now, or?
I don't know. I don't think so. I think it's going to a closing point more than an opening one, but we'll see.
Back in Washington, the Pentagon gave more insight into the operation, codenamed Operation Midnight Hammer. Here's what happened. The military used decoy aircraft to confuse Iran's radar systems. Meanwhile, 7 stealth B-2 bombers flew in undetected, protected by fighter jets. They dropped 14 massive bunker-buster bombs on the targets. At the same time, over 24 Tomahawk missiles were fired from a US submarine. It was a calculated strike that took months to prepare. The defense secretary praised the military and also thanked Israel.
Every American involved in this operation performed flawlessly. And I want to give recognition to our allies in Israel as well. This is a plan that took months and weeks of positioning and preparation so that we could be ready when the President of the United States called. It took a great deal of precision, it involved misdirection, and the highest of operational security.
This bold move has split even the Republican Party. Some support Trump's decision. Others, especially hardline MAGA Republicans, fear it could drag the US into another endless Middle Eastern war.
States of America, mixed reaction.
I'm like, oh no, this is happening.
President Trump's doing what he has to do.
I'm just struggling. I don't know what to do.
France's President Macron has called for restraint. Russia slammed the attack as reckless and illegal. Even China condemned it strongly. And Saudi Arabia, though usually aligned with US interests, said the region is now on the brink of a much wider war. So what's next? Iran is known for using proxies, like Katie Hezbollah in Iraq or Houthi rebels in Yemen, to retaliate. There's already fear that these groups may soon launch attacks on US targets in the region. Iran could also try something much bigger, shutting down the Strait of Hormuz, a narrow waterway through which a significant portion of the world's oil passes. If that happens, oil prices could skyrocket, hurting economies globally. But here's the twist. Iran has already used up many of its missiles in the past week during Israeli strikes. Their ability to hit back has been weakened. Iran now faces a very tough choice: retaliate and risk all-out war with the US, or step back, which could be seen as weakness at home. They've spent billions building their nuclear program. Backing down now would be a blow to their pride and political control. Their foreign minister even hinted,
should be always keep open, but this is not the case right now. My country has been under attack, under aggression, and we have to respond.
The British government was not part of the attack. In fact, just hours before the strike, they were against it. Now they're walking a tightrope. When asked if they thought the strike was right, UK ministers repeated,
well, we've long had concerns about the Iranian nuclear program and been very clear that Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. The US has now taken action to alleviate that threat. It is important that we now de-escalate the situation.
As of now, the UK has not sent military support, but they've moved assets into the region in case British personnel need protection. Inside Iran, all eyes are on the supreme leader, who has reportedly gone into hiding. This has only increased fear and frustration among citizens. They feel abandoned, left without any clear direction or defense strategy. Experts believe the regime is shaken. They've lost influence in Syria and Lebanon. Now they couldn't even protect their own skies. Iran is reaching out to Russia and China, but both powers are hesitating. President Putin reportedly told Iranian leaders they had never asked for help and must now handle the crisis alone. So where does this go? Analysts believe Iran will try to find a face-saving way out of this crisis. That could mean a new round of secret talks, even with Trump. Despite all the fire and fury, war may not be the ultimate end. But make no mistake, Iran's regime is walking on very thin ice. Its survival may now depend on the decisions made in the coming days. Will they escalate, or will they negotiate? The world is watching. This story is unfolding fast. If you want to stay informed with clear breakdowns like this, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more updates. Also, what do you think? Was the US right to bomb Iran? Do you think this will lead to peace or war? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Stay safe, stay informed.